Femi Ogudmola, Councilmember Phyllis Smith. I'm Lisa Edmondson, and there are no members of the public.
Okay. Next item on the agenda
What?
is the adoption of the minutes of February the 18th, 2015. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? The minutes are adopted unanimously. Public Utility Director's Report.
Good evening. It's good to be here again. It seems like it was just yesterday. It's hard to believe it's been a month. But
Easy for you to say.
it's been an interesting month. Tonight we're going to try to keep it quick, especially given the delay we've had here, and we just want to go over a few things. First, we're going to have Femi Ogudmola go over our first quarter financials. I know that last time around we did the last quarter of fiscal 14, so this will be the first quarter of 15 that we'll be reviewing. Dr. Ahn is going to do an update on the AMR deployment. That should be pretty brief, and then he's also going to talk about upcoming water and wastewater construction projects. So we have a schedule of those projects, which you should have in your binder, and we'll talk about that, answer any questions about some of our upcoming capital projects. And then finally, Greg Williams is going to go over our water conservation measures and just kind of update the commission on what some of the things we've done lately with water conservation. So for now, I'm going to turn it over to Femi Ogudmola and to go over our first quarter financials.
Good evening, Commissioners. Unfortunately, we don't have the PowerPoint slide open right now, but you do have this in front of you. This is the slide we are going to be going over. The report I'm presenting is actually the first 3 months of this fiscal year 2015.
Yes. This is not online.
It's coming there. We're seeing the computer now, so as soon as it boots, we'll probably.
But it's not online. You can't, I mean, it's not live.
Oh, no, it's not live.
No, but if they wanted to retract it, it wouldn't come up, so that if we had at least this first quarter online, the public would see it. I wondered if that was, if it didn't work, I was going to request that it come
Oh,
on, that
that makes
put
sense.
that on our website.
Yeah,
But it's coming up, you're saying.
yeah.
Good old Windows 7.
Must be a Mac guy.
Okay.
Can you see that on your side there? Mac, can you see that? Okay, good.
Okay.
We have a copy of it here.
Yeah,
All right.
I just wanted to make sure that was, okay.
Okay, we can proceed now. So our budgeted revenue for the year for water fund, it's 30.4 million, and of which 25% of it has been realized in the first quarter. The expenditure as well is 30.4 million, and of which only 13% has been realized. And the reason for that is because we have capital outlays that are typically paid out in the last quarter of the year. Another reason will be because we still have some positions that are open, which we are being filled. We are currently, filling. Then other reason will be because of the encumbrances that have not been paid out yet in the first quarter, even though they've been encumbered, but they have not been paid out.
So that 3.9 million doesn't include encumbrances that are?
It does not include
Okay.
encumbrances because everything we have here is strictly cash that is out of the door as of.
It's real money.
Yes, real money, yeah.
Got it.
So sewer fund has 7.4 million in budgeted revenue and expenditure. In terms of revenue, we show 23% has been realized, and you want to ask the question why 23%, not 25%. Well, the reason is because we have 500,000 cash that was transfer from prior period. It's a fund balance from prior period. And if you take that 500,000 out, we will be at 25%. So expenditure, we've expended about 13% as well. And similar to the water fund, the reason is because of capital outlay items that are typically paid out in the third or maybe fourth quarter. Then the open positions as well, and other encumbrances that have not been paid as of the time of the report. Let's go to the next slide. Okay. So the other item I want to talk about is the bill. Okay, let me quickly walk you through some of the things on the slide here about the water fund, just to give you the breakdown of the water fund revenue. Consumption charges represent about 54%, bulk sales about 3%, and one other highlight there would be the minimum charge, which is about 11%. So that's the breakdown for the water fund. And the expenditures, the biggest part of the expenditure there is 21%, and that is the administration and general fund. Now, I want to talk about the billed gallonage right now.
Are we going over a couple of pages?
Yeah. That's it.
Got it.
Yeah. So the billed gallonage, we have about 1.8 billion in gallons that was billed for the quarter versus what was produced of about 1.8 as well. And that represents an increase of a change of about 1.9%. And we do have reason why the billed gallonage is higher than the production.
Yeah, we were waiting for that. Of course.
All right. So I'm going to leave that to Jeff to to talk on later on. And this.
Can we go ahead and?
Oh, okay.
Can we?
All right.
Why the water loss is higher than why the gain?
Remember the fall
instead of the loss.
You go ahead. You want me to touch?
Yeah, if you recall, last month we presented a water loss, and that water loss is the highest that I ever see. It's like 16%. That's the highest that I ever see. And at the same time, Jeff also explained where some of the water we didn't account it. There was 1 meter, it's WASA, we sell to WASA. That meter has not been read for a long time. And about October, they started to go read and find the huge usage. Which, if you look, the number says WASA bulk gallonage, December 14. And that number normally it's the 9, 8, 7. November is more like in line. In October, we are like 50 million gallons more. Right. December, it's like 300. That's like 5% of our total. So we still don't know how that happened. Apparently, WASA was saying there's some valve malfunction, so they had to open. But we still not quite getting why that happened. But that actually explain why our water loss is higher last month where we reported.
Well, and regardless of why the sale of water to the Miami-Dade Water and Sewer Department occurred, they're not disputing that our meter recorded the flow accurately.
Are they going to pay it?
Well, that remains to be seen, but
I was going to say, okay.
But they're not disputing the fact that they utilized the water.
Doctor, you said it had been some time since the meter had been read?
That's correct. It's a meter normally not used, and in sometime there's a big cover, and the cover was like fiberglass, but some traffic accident knocked it, broke it. So it was replaced with metal. So it was not used water for a long time, and so the meter has been like all estimate. And estimated was no usage.
So was the metal cover heavy, or did it make it
It's
difficult
very
to
heavy,
read
need
it?
a little crate to move it.
Well, I hope that it's going to be read a little more frequently than this in the future.
Yes, we're getting the AMR thing we don't need that.
Oh,
And also, I'm sure WASA will check that too.
Yes. They don't like these surprises either.
No.
interesting, okay. Thank you for the explanation.
All right. The next item I'm going to be talking about is still on the water bill gallonage. I was going to compare what was done in this quarter to the first quarter of last fiscal year. So we had 1.8 this last quarter that we are reporting. For same period last fiscal year, we have 1.46. Now, also the next item will be sewer bill gallonage. Oh, okay, I sort of have gone through this slide quickly, but let me take you to the sewer side of it.
Okay.
The sewer, we have 268K gallonage billed compared to about 237 of same fiscal period that was billed last year.
So don't tell Greg, but more is better.
More is better. So the next item that I want to highlight is the fire flow impact and implant fees. Fire flow impact and implant fees is 988K.
Where are we?
Second to the last page.
Oh, okay.
About the second to the last page. Yeah, shows about 988K fee collected this first quarter, as opposed to 637K that was collected in the first quarter of last fiscal year.
Mm-hmm.
So that really represents an improvement in the economy. You know, it's when we see, it's sort of like a trigger to know that the economy is improving.
And am I correct when there's like major building projects going on,
Good.
that's when that really has the huge impact on that fee?
Yes,
those
sir.
fees, yeah.
Yes, sir. So the last item I want to discuss is the cash situation. As of the end of the first quarter, we ended the quarter with a cash balance of $18 million for the water fund and 9.7 for the sewer fund. So compared to the to fiscal year, last fiscal year of same quarter, which was 12.9 million for water and about 8.4 for
When did
sewer.
the rate increases go into effect?
The rate increase went into effect October 1st, yeah.
So we're seeing the impact of that in these numbers?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So that concludes the highlight that I have for today. If there's any question, we'll be ready to answer.
Thank you. I like this, very concise and it's
Yes,
easy to understand.
I agree.
Very good. So, since we're not accountants.
Okay, we move on? Sure.
Real brief for AMR project is going well. Right now it's about 55% complete, and it's over $18,000. Not dollars. 18,000 meters have been replaced. And we're all target to completing the final completion is September. Substantial is in August. So if you can bring the next one, I was next page, next slide. Yeah. Next one, yeah. This actually I grabbed from online. Those are the contractor periodically updated the progress, and you can find it from our city's website. And this was March 3rd report. I didn't get one new ones. The The red or pink one is the one already installed. The yellow one is the area need to be installed. So those are periodically upgraded. You can actually check from our city's website.
Can I ask a question? Have they done the stadium yet? Replaced the meter at the stadium?
Not yet. The larger meter, they had a installation evaluation. We evaluate. We need to replace or retrofit. They complete that just yesterday. They started replacing large meters. It's 3 inch and above. That's separate.
Are they're one of our largest users? Is that?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Especially
I can answer any AMR questions if. And right now they are working in our city. They started from west, you can say, going from west, going east. And right now it's inside city.
Jeff, has there been any issues with any of the neighbors? Have we had any complaints? Have we had people who've been concerned, or is this going very, very smoothly?
For the most part, I would say very smooth. We do have complaints, not about complaint we are putting new meters. It's when contractors, the installer happened to, there are maybe 2 or 3 cases, he left, forgot to turn back off. But the contractor has a number, the customer call right back, there are 24 hours respond, they respond real quick back. And we have some other complaint, and maybe like a low pressure, and some related to the installation, some not. But in general, the complaint, to me, I'm happy. I didn't have, say, a lot of complaints. And actually, in the beginning, when we did the publications, and mostly Greg received his positive comments.
And they're putting door hangers on the doors for the place when they're coming to do the job to let the people know they're going to be there? That's all part of the protocol?
Yes, it's required. They put 3 times at least. So they do 1 time, nobody showed. Second and third. After third time, they still need to give phone calls. We provide a phone numbers. If that not happen, Greg will help them to get into the customer.
Okay.
One of the minor issues that we had over the last month was regarding customers not recognizing the contractor as being a representative of the city in doing the work. So one of the things we did was we made sure that all of the contractors have city identification that they prominently display, and we also bought magnets for their vehicles to identify them as part of the meter replacement program.
That would be a concern of people with strangers coming around the
Absolutely.
neighborhood. No question. Okay. Who's next?
I get the,
Jeff is going to continue with an update on the capital program.
Mr. Cook asked for a kind of a schedule for what over ongoing project. This is we came quickly with the schedule for the project with the sewer and water, and you can pretty much separate it with sewer part, the water distribution, and water plant. The sewer part is mostly it's the pump station improvement. We have 3 pretty much complete. 5 we are not just need the restoration for some portion of the work. The 5 pump stations. We are scheduled to complete in about June. We have some of the coordination with the FPL always delay us a little bit. But I'm happy with the contractor. They responded to our request. The water distribution, it's a lot of them are smaller internal project. Currently we have Golden Shore pipe burst. I talked to you last time, Mr. Cook.
Yes.
They had burst this week, and they had one Monday, one today. Tomorrow there will be another one. If you are interested to see them, how they push the pipe through.
And if you're not available, we're actually going to videotape it so that.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I got some like health department interested to come look also. Last time they didn't make the time. The water plant, we have 3, the AMRs included here, water plant 3 active project now. One is the VOC removal is scheduled to complete in July. They're pretty much done for the most part. We have the Florida well rehab just started, and the other one is the filter. This is the lime softening portion of the gravity filter project. We have the board and the city council approved the contract. We had a contract for 5 years. We're due about 3, 4, depend on the budget every year. But the bid was set. Right now we do 3 of the filters. I'll show you some of the Jeff asked me to explain how the gravity filter works. So I have a little cartoon there. Can you go back to the? Oh,
We mentioned at the last meeting, you guys mentioned that you might be interested in some of the educational aspects that we used to do, and so
go back
I
to
asked
that
Jeff to just put together
no.
something brief, hopefully
No,
not
the,
too
map, yeah,
technical, but
map.
to explain
Map.
the filter system.
Map. Yeah. The real brief for this, you have this also. The everything on here, we put it on the map also, so you can see where the projects are from the map site. Under that, the accumulated in the water plant, it's pretty spread out, and of course sewer, most of our sewer system is in Miami Gardens, so you can see the sewer has happened mostly on the west side.
I have a question. I know you have a 19 here on there, the project service-wide, dead-end elimination.
Yeah.
Are there 10, there's 10 of them you're working on? Is that what it says? Says elimination of dead ends 10? Down
Under the scope.
under the
Yeah.
scope. You see where I'm down in the yellow at the bottom?
Mm-hmm. You're talking about 19?
Yes.
Those are, yeah, we continue doing it in the hydraulic study. If some areas have had dead end and maybe low residues, it's the engineering department, when they will find the time, will be continue doing those.
Okay. I just thought, we had eliminated those, but I guess it's
Oh, no,
ongoing,
yeah,
right?
it's ongoing. We are not eliminating all of them yet.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
But in the most part, our system
Yeah.
pretty much good looped.
I
There-
remember around Golden Beach, there were some issues that you
Yeah.
had worked on before.
Yes. Okay, and on to the,
So let's look at your.
think of the
full
first one.
drawing.
First one. Yeah. This is how, pretty much how the gravity filter looks like. We have one actually today is open. The project will be just keeping the wall and the bottom, everything else inside will be replaced. And the cost is about $600,000 for 3. So basically, when the filter, the water coming from the top, going through the bottom one has different layers. The top one, it's more like charcoal, and then going through a gravel portion, and then the bottom is like the ball. It's plastic ball supporting the system. And after, for the most part, a day or two, when you get it filtered, and on the top of the media has the sludge. So you have the particles touched to the media, and we can indicating by what it called turbidity or cloudiness water, if it's going through a little bit high, and we're doing backwash. Backwash is exactly opposite. It's going, if you say the right hand, there's a hole there, that will be the water going through there, clear water going there, going from bottom up. So washing it has a higher speed also going up, will be washing the particles out. And we have we have a recovery basin, and going there and getting settled a little bit, the supernatant going back to the beginning of the treatment, the sludge will going for the sludge treatment.
Physically, how big are these?
The filters are 17 by 21.
What kind of water flow is there in there?
We have 11 of them. Right now supposed to be going 15 million gallons per day. And because that's the reason we are doing it now. We are only be able to produce like 11. So the capacity is limited. That's why we're replacing them. And then the plan is in maybe 4 years, getting all 11 replaced. That will be lime side water is cheaper water. So we want to produce more lime than the Florida water.
We know that one.
Yeah. So the other side is basically showing the different layer of meteors, and this normally called multimeter filters, gravity multimeter filters.
And what's the lifespan of these?
The meteor, it's depend, because when you backwash you could lose some. So those are depend the layer of the meteor. We change it for 3-4 years. But the bottom is like on the way in the bottom, Andre, I don't know when they changed. Maybe 30 years ago.
Really?
Might never change from the beginning. So yeah.
What's the life expectancy of changing them?
I would say 30 years, but we need to do good maintenance for if you go backwash inspection. We have not been doing really good because before we have the new plant, we are overloading the plant. A lot of times we're running above the capacity.
Right. So
What I remember, now we are going back to getting all the improvement. Now we're getting the new side settled, and we are trying to improve a lot of the old side also.
seems like a very simple, straightforward device. It's amazing.
Yeah, it has been used for a long, long time.
I was going to say, it must
Yeah.
have been, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and the pool probably have only the top layer,
Right.
so the swimming pool.
Where's the backflow effluent go?
The backwash the water, like I said, we have a recovery basin. So they go into a tank. The tank will settle. The sludge we going for sludge treatment. The supernatant we going back to the head of a plant, going to be like reused. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
Thank
That
you
was-
very much.
That was really neat. I like that.
Okay,
Yep.
do we have a water conservation presentation?
Yes, we do.
There we go.
And if
Excuse me, Councilwoman Smith?
I just wanted to make, if I could, comments. Number one, when you were talking about the meters, I happened to be in the lobby when a lady came in and went to pay her water bill. And the water bill was so high because she lost her gate with the German Shepherd and the outside Russians at work. And the man can't get to the meter. So when people understand the importance of this and how excited I am that it looks like it's almost 2/3 done, if not more, I just think that the public, if there's any kind of backlash that you get with a little bit of tweaking to a service, if they understand the convenience for them, that'll be eliminated completely. And you mentioned that there would be 11 of those that eventually would be changed. Has the money been set? Are we set with the 600,000 for the budget? How are we working that as it goes year after year?
Yeah, this will be every year's budget. Actually, the current one we're working, we setting up the project started last year. So this is last year's budget. We're still working on the project. And after this finish, this year we have budgeted for another 3. So, and this is supposed to be finished in half a year. So they started February. So by August, I told them if you finish faster, I give you a next assignment faster. So they got motivated to move the schedule also. But yeah, it was that's the plan. But again, the budget need to be approved by council every year.
Because if it's 11 units and you're only doing 3 a year, as the cost goes up year after year, maybe we should do something to change it to make it feasible.
The bid is fixed for 5 years.
Okay,
So yeah, the bid is for 5 years project.
one of the things we're looking at is we're evaluating what the media looks like at the bottom of these, and we're finding so far that it does look like we should have replaced it sooner. So we'll take that data, analyze it, and make a determination as to whether or not we need to try to accelerate deployment of this capital project or not.
Well, yeah, we try to do that, but we don't want to shut down the whole Lime site. So that's the reason we are trying to do 3, so we can still have production from the other ones. And yeah, regarding to AMR, and yeah, those are the common cases, lock the gate. But when they have the door handler, they have the number. So the contractor has a phone number. The resident can, over customer can call them, schedule specific time. So I even give them, say, some cases say, hey, I cannot do any weekdays. I need to do weekend. So if they notify us, we allow them to go do weekend for some specific cases.
Okay, we'll move on with the water conservation presentation. Thank you.
Good evening, Commissioners. It's good to see everyone. It's good to be here. I'm Greg Williams, Utility Neighborhood Coordinator for this great city. Just want to piggyback off of what Councilwoman Smith said. I think she was spot on. I recently did a presentation before one of the council people at a community meeting there in Miami Gardens. And one thing that resoundingly came out real good, that they embraced the fact that we're putting the AMR into their homes. They really love that because it's kind of spot on. It allows them to have the luxury of not having to be home or releasing the dog or locking up the dog. They having the flexibility and the comfort. So it's really working out real well. They really embrace that real good. And so it ties in real good with water conservation. Now, I do want you to know that although I teach water conservation, making money is a real good thing. And so we want to continue to make sure that that's happening in our city. However, the old commercial that used to come on television, it was called Sims Commercial, and it was about clothing. It said their best customers were the educated consumers. And so we want to make sure that we teach our customers how to manage their water bills, because we don't want them to be too high where it's so exorbitant that they can't really pay them. The thing is, in the future, we're moving forward. In the future, we want to make sure that our children understand, and that's part of my job. I go to many of the Dade County public schools and I teach about water conservation. The American Water Works Association has a program called Drop Savers, and it's a drawing contest, and kids, they compete to draw and make pictures about water conservation. And I have some of the work here, and I want to show you. Every year we bring many of the students and their parents and faculty, principals and all, to come to make a presentation, to come and be congratulated for the work they do, their artwork and everything. I want to show you some of the work that we recently got out of 35 different schools that we went to, and 17 of them, 50% of the schools responded. And so I want to show you some of the work that we've got from the kids. The good news about this, not only do we have local winners, but some of them get an opportunity to compete to be statewide winners. And we've had statewide winners from our city. And so I want to show you some of the stuff that we've gotten here. The neat thing is, I don't know if I made it real clear, they come before the parents and all, they come before the mayor and council, they take pictures, and the good news is, Mr. Max Serta has asked that we put it in our next publication, our next news paper that comes out, so you'll see a lot of the artwork and it'll be publicized, and the kids get really excited. We also go into the schools and we have ice cream parties with the kids and the entire class, so that kid that won first, second, or third, they're really on cloud 9. This is the first grade winners, first and kindergarten winners. We had one child to win first place. We didn't get much response from this grade level, this particular division, but this is the first grade winner from St. Lawrence Elementary School. I don't know if you can hear me well. And the second division is the second and third grade winners, and these are the kids. I'm just going to go through the slides and let you see. And you can see the different schools. I don't know if I'm moving too fast. First place was Ogis and Fulford. Pretty neat,
Great.
huh?
Well, that is nice.
Yeah. You see, if we don't teach the children how to conserve and save on water, the price of water is going to be astronomical in the future. And we're the type of city that we really care. We don't care just now, but we care always. And our kids, our grandchildren will pay for it if we don't train them now. And so we do a great job to make sure we get the message out there. And the kids, they really embrace it, as you can see in their artwork. This is another division, 6th and 8th grade. Okay, Allison Academy. Another work from Allison Academy, 2nd place winner. And the judges are among many of our employees and our director, Dr. Jeff, and Mr. Femi, we were all involved with, and Ms. Daya, we all were involved in many of the employees selecting the work. Okay. Pretty nice, huh?
Very nice, very impressive.
And this is the 9th through 12th grade now. This is their work. We not only do we look at the art, but we look at the message as well, the creativity.
Oh, look at that. Go back to that one.
Tracy Money.
Go back one.
Go back one.
Absolutely.
Look at that. That is really.
That's pretty neat, huh?
Right.
And we've been doing this for about 10 or 12 years, and it's working, and the kids, they look forward to it. I got faculty that call me, Mr. Williams, be sure to come to my school and pick up my package, my kids, and I'm getting a lot of artwork. It's really, they really gravitate to, they embrace this very well. And we recognize the principals when they come and we salute them and thank them for their involvement. And the parents, and they all feel real good. And we thank our mayor and council, our director, assistant city manager, and our city manager, and this is what we do. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it.
Okay, thank you very much. Very nice. Very nice. Unless there's something else, I guess we're on to old business. And I have one thing. I'd like to know the progress that's being made on the security issue on the well fields where we've had the copper stolen, and what are we doing and how are we doing it?
Sure. We have a meeting scheduled right now with the security contractor that we have a contract with, and we are going to be meeting with them to start deploying infrastructure immediately after our meeting with them. So we have that scheduled for March 31st. There's been a bit of a delay in contracting, but we've gotten that taken care of now, and so we're moving forward with that. We're going to have surveillance and detection equipment installed there, so we're going to feel pretty confident that that area is fully protected. And in the interim, we have been conducting constant physical surveillance of the site with our employees on rotation. So it's been a lot of effort on the part of our water plant employees, but it's been what's necessary.
Jeff, is it only one site that's at issue here?
It's the ones we felt like the one site was probably the most vulnerable because it was the most out of sight area that we have. All of the areas are important to us, and we have also, in the process of going and looking at that one site, we drive by the other sites as well. So in the end, we will have state-of-the-art surveillance at all of the facilities.
You've signed a contract with a contractor, a security contractor. This is a new contract that was not in existence before.
Correct. The city didn't have a contract with a physical security contractor that specialized in protecting this type of infrastructure.
There's going to be armed watchmen, armed guards, that type of thing?
Well, we already have an armed guard, and at the facility, but this would be. I don't want to get into too much detail about the technology that we're going to deploy, but it will
state of the art.
It's state of the art, and it will protect our infrastructure.
Councilwoman Smith.
Through the chair, if I may,
Yes.
are there going to be security cameras
Well, I don't know how much they want to disclose what their security precautions are.
I think that's fine. We can say yes. There will be security cameras. That's part of the solution, amongst a host of other mechanisms for detection. Yes.
How about the lift stations? There's a lot of copper in them.
Yeah.
A lot of voltage.
Yeah, well, there was a lot of voltage out there,
Yeah.
and the idiots still went into it.
You know, there is a different level of sensitivity to lift stations. You know, we drink the water, and so that's a more acute issue for us. But we certainly aren't going to just completely dismiss the importance of the lift stations. They perform a very important role as well, and there will be measures installed on them as well. Perhaps not to the same extent as with the water facilities, but enough to where we will be able to detect intrusion.
Okay, anything else on this subject, or we'll move on to new business? Is there any new business? Is there any public comment? I will entertain a motion for adjournment.
How about that? Yeah.
Second?
Seconded.
All in favor? Aye. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
That was efficient. Nice. Very nice. They ran a good meeting. That was good. I want Jeff's hard work here. I'm taking this home.
You guys are doing a good job. Thank you very much.